RAD policing. What is it and how does it work? RAD policing is a combination of 4 elements: predictive analytics, business intelligence, high visibility, and resource management. Welcome. In this video presentation, I will describe and present the benefits of using RAD policing. RAD policing is a sophisticated platform that combines technology with proven techniques to drastically and methodically reduce crime. In the first part of this video, I will describe what RAD policing is. In the second part, I will show how it works with a live presentation, and I will explain and introduce other examples where RAD policing can be easily incorporated to include traffic collisions, critical incidents, and overtime. RAD policing is a dynamic platform that is easily adaptable to any situation. It is easy to use and it is easy to manage. With that said, let's get started. Predictive analytics provides us with the most critical element in RAD policing, the forecast information that includes the type of crime, future date, time, and location of that specific crime. The routes are generated based on the crime forecast information. The platform then updates and makes the appropriate changes every 6 days. Business intelligence is also a critical part of RAD policing. Here we have several computer programs and applications that generate and distribute the entire information automatically to all stakeholders. Business intelligence provides live, up-to-the-minute information aimed to provide answers to any questions. Business intelligence allows the entire system to effectively and automatically provide and distribute reports with KPIs to all stakeholders. High visibility is the main tactic used by officers in RAD policing. The routes provide guidance and direction to the officers working the detail. The goal is to provide constant police presence in the community, thus discouraging and preventing crime that would occur if no police presence was available. Resource management is properly deploying and monitoring the officers. For example, the most efficient deployment for a crime problem area with several crimes is a 4-officer team using a 312 work shift. Here we have a 4-officer team that start at 1000 hours and ends at 0200 hours that cover 17 hours a day. The same officers working Monday through Saturday gives us a coverage of 6 days a week. Now consider that you have 4 officers working 6 days a week, giving you a total coverage of 17 hours a day. That is very good coverage for 4 officers. This concludes the first part of the presentation. Now we will focus on RAD policing and the inner workings. The first thing I want to introduce is the RAD Policing App. Officers use this app to input information. The information populates the entire system. The app is downloaded onto the officer's cell phone. The app basically has 5 sections to check: your login, basic information, very easy to use; log off, again, basic information, very easy to use; your RAD policing, this is the route that you choose to patrol during your shift. Just choose whatever route you want. You submit it, it goes directly to the platform, and the platform populates all that information. Again, crime forecast checks, you put your checks here and the time of the check, hit submit, the program captures that information. And if you need to go off the route for whatever reason, you click the off the route button, you put the location and the reason. Any admin duties or court or training could be a good reason to be off the route. And that is important because when you do that, it tells the program that you're not actively traveling the route. As you can see, the app for RAD policing is very easy. Anyone can do it. Anyone can use it. Again, I'd like to state that the app is the most important item that the officers use because the app is the workhorse for the entire platform. It generates and produces all the information, sends it to the platform. The platform uses different programs to generate the reports. And we'll go into detail a little further. Now the next item I want to show is the RAD Policing Maps. The platform updates all data every 6 days. The information is sent to the maps and the routes. Officers then use that information to travel the routes and check locations. Here we have a live map with a unit traveling the route, designated route. What they do is they travel the routes, they check the locations. Each location is a marker. Red is for robberies, green is for burglary from motor vehicles, and blue is for assaults. Once they get to a critical location, then they input the information through the app. Now, this live map is important for a supervisor or a manager because it helps them know where all the resources are at any given time, and it's live information. He or she can communicate with the units by either phone or through some type of internet connection. It is a very powerful concept. It is live information. Now let me show you what the officer would see when they look at this map through their cell phone. Whenever they click on a marker on any designated route, this is what pops up: the date, the future date of a predicted robbery, the time, and the location. So what the officer does is he or she, when they're driving the route, they check the markers, and if it's a critical check, meaning the prediction is close to when they're working, they'll log it and they'll travel the route up and down until they've completed all their checks, and then they go to the next route. Okay, let's take a look at a different route, a different entity. Here we have a different entity. Again, they have different markers. They have 4 routes. You can have as many routes as you think you need. The concept is the same. They travel the route. They log the critical locations. Every 6 days, the whole system is updated, so you get new information. This agency just got their information, so as you can see, everything is forecasted for next week. It gives them the same thing: the future date, the time, and the location of a prediction. Again, it is a very powerful concept, very easy to use, and it is all done through the app. Route policing is so powerful that you can have more than one route and more than one location. Let's take a look at another example. Here we're going to look at an entity that uses about 36 different routes. You can have as many routes as you need or want. The concept is still the same. Patrol the route, send the information, have the program or the platform update all that information, and have it generate all the reports that are needed for management. Again, the most important thing is to focus on what you need and what your objective is, and that is to reduce crime. Now let's go and talk about reports. The report section is very important because it allows the supervisor, the manager, or the stakeholders know exactly what your detail or your team is doing at any given time. Okay, I'm going to talk and describe the report section as best that I can. Basically what this is business intelligence at its best. What it does is it collects all the information from the app, sends it to a program, and the program generates the reports through the platform. What do I mean by that? I mean that there is no middle person involved. All the information that's inputted into the reports comes directly from the app, from the officers. You have the most current information at any given time. Okay, Let me explain the reports that you get from the platform. You get 3 reports: the analysis report, the daily field activities report, and the daily activity goals report. All 3 reports are important and they serve their own specific purpose. This is the analysis report, and basically what it does is it breaks everything down: the activities, the time spent, it gives you the KPIs and a pie that distributes your minutes by percentage. Up here you're able to go back and forth between reports, navigate, and you're able to select that whatever dates you want. You can select by dates, you can select by units. Very easy to use, very easy to manage. The system automatically emails a PDF copy of a report like this to whoever is involved in the process. Basically, it emails all the stakeholders that are part of RAD policing. Everything in the report is interactive, so if you were to click on any of the graphs or any of the icons, they're interactive, very easy to use, very easy to manage. Let's go to the second report, the daily field report. Okay, this report allows you to see what the individual officers are doing any given day, any given time. Let's look at today. Today is the 26th. Now we know that only one officer is working because we saw him working. And this is the officer. This is basically his log, and this is what he's done so far. The officer started working at 1200 hours. It is now 1349. So if you have he hasn't done any routes, he's done 11 checks, and all the information is automatically captured via the app. Let's go back and get a full report for the 22nd. Again, the daily field activities report gives you the KPIs and a breakdown of everything that the individual officer did for that specific day. It combines everything as a team, but you can also see individualized information. Very important because it holds the individual officer accountable for their duties. You can, like I said earlier, everything is interactive. You click on anything and the report updates automatically. So this is what this officer did for that day. He did 5 routes, 13 checks, and 1 off the route. Now let's go back and look at the daily activities goals. This is very important because, again, it gives you all the information that you need, but it has individual sections for the individual officer. This is important because it basically sets goals for the individual officer and the team. For example, for this section, for this officer here, he spent 3.9 hours patrolling the routes. The goal is more than 4 hours. However, he spent almost 4 hours checking locations. The goal here is 3 hours. Basically, what it's telling you as a supervisor is my officer completing or doing what he or she is supposed to do? Are they meeting the goals? And because the officer is also the stakeholder, they get an email, an automatic email every day showing what they've done. Basically, the officer, they are managing themselves because they're able to see what they're spending their time on, whether it's off the route, checking locations, or on a critical location. Whatever it is, they know, and they basically account for every minute that they start working. The reports are very easy to understand, very easy to use. They help you in many different ways. It allows the manager or supervisor to know exactly what their officers are doing. It holds the officer, the individual officer, accountable for what he or she is doing at any given time regarding the detail. It is very powerful. Again, what makes it powerful is that it's very easy to use. Basically, it manages itself. What I like about the reporting system set up this way is that all the reports are interactive, they're automatically distributed, they're easy to use, and they hold every stakeholder accountable for what they are doing or what they are not doing. Okay, now the last section that I want to introduce and present is how can RAD policing be incorporated with other incidents like traffic collisions, critical incidents, and or overtime. Let's switch over and open up a different map. Let's go with the traffic collisions. Here we have numerous collisions that occur in this area. So the question is, how can this help, or how can RAD policing help with traffic collision? The answer is easy. You incorporate it either through adding to the app or adding to the reports, making sure that it becomes part of RAD policing, making sure that the officers log in critical locations, and you should see a reduction in traffic collision. You can still use the same number of officers, your same resources to use in other areas such as traffic collisions. You don't need to add more officers. You need to add more reports, and that is an easy thing if you have a platform such as RAD policing. Okay, the next topic that I want to talk about is critical incidents. Let's change maps. Now I'm still in the same platform here. All I'm doing is changing the maps. Let's go with critical incidents. Okay, here you have your basic homicide, a basic critical incident. You have your homicide, you have your victim, you have your units, your detectives, your evidence, your CP, and your incident commander. Now, how can RAD policing help with critical incidents? By making everything live, up to the minute, and generating all the reports that you need to manage the critical incident. In this case, it would be the homicide. RAD policing is a concept. It takes current information through an application and generates all the reports that you need automatically. It also gives you a live view of what's going on, either through a map or through a satellite map. Let's switch over to a satellite map. And here you're able to see everything. You can basically adjust your perimeter on what you see from the sky. It's just as good as having an airship or a helicopter setting up your perimeter. This type of system is very easy to use with RAD policing because it's a concept. It's live information, it's quick, it's fast. Most importantly, it does everything for you. If you set it up properly, it will generate every report that you need. Now consider this. You have a homicide here, and a few minutes later, your officers are driving down the street and they encounter the suspects. Now you have an officer involved shooting. Now you have another critical incident. With RAD policing and the same concept and the same system and the same platform, you're able to manage different or multiple incidents with no problems because the system or the platform is automatically generating the information for you live based on what the officers are inputting. So at the end of everything, the line officers are the ones who are generating all this information with an app, and the app is sending that information to the platform, and the platform distributes that information to the programs, and the programs generate the reports that you need live. The same concept can be used for overtime. Overtime is a big problem for any agency because it is difficult to have control and or to know exactly what every or any unit is doing at the time. With the RAD policing concept, you know where the officers are. You're able to have access to their locations. You have up to the minute information. You can generate any type of report at any given time. You can backtrack, but most importantly, when the officers see where they spend their time, when they see the actual report, they will manage their own overtime, and they in turn will help you take care of any overtime issues you might have. Now consider everything that I've talked about, everything that we've gone over, all the maps, all the information. It all comes down to one thing: live information, easy access, easy to manage, easy to use. RAD policing is a concept. It is a concept that can help you in many different ways, whether it's a crime problem, whether it's a traffic collision problem, whether it's critical incidents, whether it's overtime. It is limitless as long as you use the concept, and the concept is current information, live information, easy to use at any given time. With that in mind, I would like to conclude this video, but I want you to keep this in mind. RAD policing is a dynamic, self-sustained system that adjusts to any situation. Everything in RAD policing, everything in the platform is correlated with every activity. The real strength and power of RAD policing is how easy it is to use and how easy it is to manage. Thank you for your time. I hope I was able to describe what RAD policing is and how it works. If you have any questions regarding anything, please post them in the comment section or you can email me. As always, take care and be safe.